Hello. In this particular lecture actually we are going to discuss about the size effect for the electrochemical applications or maybe that electrochemical properties of that particular coatings. In our last lecture we have given a glimpse of different types of applications where the size dependency actually creating some miracles. So, that means when you are reducing the size of that particular nanoparticles, we have shown that in terms of mechanical properties, in terms of some electrical properties, maybe optical properties or maybe some other properties, the properties of those materials has been changed drastically. So, in this particular case actually we are going to discuss that size effect for the electrochemical properties of nanostructured coatings. So, when we are talking about the introductions or maybe introductory of that particular topic. So, in that particular case the nanostructured coatings electrochemical properties comes into play mainly when electrochemical deposition process have been used. So, here the main aim of this particular lecture is that we will discuss about the electrochemical depositions or maybe some kind of electrochemical plating in terms of size dependency of those nanoparticles. A wide range of metals and alloys coated on base materials through electrodeposition process give enhanced properties and extend their use of industrial applications. So, this is the main motto of this particular lecture. Then the electrodeposited nanocrystalline materials do not show significant changes in Young modulus. So, when we are talking about this kind of electrochemical depositions or maybe the electrochemical plating or maybe some kind of electrolysis or maybe that electrolysis plating, in this particular case the properties will only enhance or maybe change in terms of electrochemicals. It will not hamper any kind of material mechanical properties. Not only that, it is not going to increase or decrease the mechanical strength of that particular materials. So, most important feature is that constant concentrations along the nanocomposite layer and uniform distribution of nanoparticulates in matrix. Additional features for better dispersion, pulsed current and the ultrasonic bath. Usage of pulsed current lead to fabrication of harder nanocomposite layers. So, it depends that what type of synthesis techniques actually we are adopting. So, depending upon that our synthesis techniques, the total nanostructure composites or maybe that nanostructure coatings is can give the different properties. So, there are numerous investigations has been performed or maybe has been done on the formation of nanocomposite layers during recent years, like nickel phosphorus titanium dioxide as lubricious layer, nickel silicon carbide and nickel cobalt silicon carbide as wear and corrosion resistant coatings, nickel titanium dioxide as photocatalytic layer, nickel silicon dioxide as corrosion resistant layer, etc. So, from these particular things just we are trying to show that when we are trying to change the material shapes or maybe that material compositions, the total properties of that particular substrate is going to be changed. So, thermal stability of nanocrystals is of great importance in high temperature applications. Stability with varying grain size is mostly depending on degradation temperature. So, that will come in our next subsequent slides. So, with smaller granule size an increase in density of passive film formed on surface was obtained due to spread of energy band in passive film. So, that is one of the vital parameters or maybe that vital logic of these particular techniques. So, here this is the some kind of schematic illustrations. So, that we have already gone through earlier also, but for your remembrance I am telling you it once again. So, we are taking some kind of electrolyte, that electrolyte should be that what kind of materials we are going to coat. Based on that you have to choose the same electrolyte of that particular metal ions. So, suppose I am going to coat our material by the copper, then maybe some kind of copper sulphate solutions or maybe that some copper related materials we are going to put as a electrolyte over there, and then we are trying to put our material onto the cathode side. So, what will happen when we will generate some kind of potential difference in between these two electrodes, the copper sulphate it will divide it into two parts, one is called the copper, another one is sulphate, and then the copper will go and it will stick or maybe it will deposit onto your cathode or maybe onto our substrate materials. So, like this way we can do the coating techniques onto our substrate itself. So, that is known as the electrochemical deposition process, or sometimes we are calling it as a electroplating too. So, there are various steps in electrochemical deposition process, which are transfer of hydrated metallic ion or metallic complex form mass of solutions to cathode. Already I have explained in last slide. Isolation of hydrated layer from metallic ion in metal solution interface. Transfer of load and formation of add atoms on cathode surface. Formation of crystalline molecules nucleus as a result of penetrations of absorbed atoms on cathode surface, connection of crystalline nuclei and formation of metallic layers. So, these all are the steps, actually it is occurring one by one when we are trying to do this kind of electrochemical depositions. Then that is also a one intermediate process which is going on in between this. So, that is known as the electrocrystallization process. It occurs at solid liquid electrochemical interface. So, when we are dipping our substrate into the electrolytic solutions, actually that time this kind of reactions or maybe this kind of techniques is going on. Next, driving force of this process is controlled by current density and electrode potentials. Mainly exertion of metallic coatings with electrical plating is based on discharge of electrical load of metallic ions extend at electrolyte on cathode surface. So, that is known as the intermediate techniques. Before finishing the electrode depositions, generally this is occurring at the first instance. Then we are going to show you that when we are talking about the size, then when we are reducing the size of our crystallites, how it is affecting the corrosion properties. So, corrosion behavior of nanostructured coatings is strongly dependent on grain size. Nanocrystalline specimens indicate more intense current in passive zone, implying higher corrosion rate. So, that is the principle behind this technology. So, this current density is mostly because of more grain boundaries and triple connections in nanocrystalline samples, creating electrochemically active spots. Small size of grain and high volumetric fraction of grain boundary can cause different corrosion behavior with respect to multicrystalline materials. Nanostructure have high resistance against local corrosions due to uniform distribution of imperfections in passive film. So, this is the actually the main logic or main technology behind these techniques. So, here we have given one examples. So, electrodeposited of nanocrystalline films with lower grain size are found resistance against intragranular phenomena such as grain boundary invasions and corrosion properties. Corrosion behavior of nanostructure coatings has been assessed by several techniques in various environments, mostly by the electrochemical measurements. So, the empirical testing is that when we are trying to check the corrosion properties, simply we are putting that material into some electrolyte solutions, we are seeing that how the chemical reaction is taking place, how much material in a single time or maybe into some stipulated time, how much material is removing from the surface itself. So, by doing this kind of techniques, by doing this kind of experiments, we can check whether our material is corrosion proof or not. Here also one empirical examples, that here we have used different sizes of these particles, then we have measured the voltage versus current, and then we have shown that how the corrosion properties is changing when we are trying to change the particle size of that particular nanoparticles. Then here we have given one examples, that electroplated nanocomposites of silicon nitride and nickel composites. So, electrical properties of silicon nitride and nickel electroplated nanocomposite such as corrosion current density after long time immersions was analyzed. So, as I told already in my last lecture or maybe the last slide, that when we are dipping that material into the electrolyte, just we are giving some time to react our substrate with the electrolyte, then we are trying to measure the reaction time, then how much material actually it is removing from the substrate itself. So, by taking this value, then we are having the calculations or maybe the empirical formula where we are putting those values, and simply we are calculating that how much material is corroding at that particular environment. Particularly the effects of the different average size of nanometric particulates ASNP from submicron scale less than 1 micrometer to nanometric scale less than 10 nanometer have been studied. It has been observed that decreasing the ASNP will lead to lower corrosion current densities. However, in some cases pitting phenomena has been observed. Pitting phenomena is nothing but that it is one kind of empirical phenomena. Suppose I am having several balls, and if I release those balls one by one, the balls will simple from a certain height, it will fall onto that substrate or maybe onto the floor, and it will hit. That kinetic energy, whatever that ball will achieve, simple that kinetic energy will directly go onto the floor itself. So, like this way, when we are releasing that electron bombardment is directly coming and it is hitting our substrate material continuously. So, that is known as the one kind of pitting phenomena over here. Parameters like frequency, duty cycle and concentration of nanoparticulates were evaluated. Other effective factors for fabrication of nanocomposite coatings have been fixed for better studying the effect of the average size of the nanoparticulates. So, here we have given several examples that how that size factor is affecting our corrosion properties. From the obtained results, it can be observed that lowering the ASNP will lead to lower CCDs, which indicates the decreasing ASNP in useful for decreasing the CCD. So, here we have shown one kind of AFM atomic force microscopy image that of nanometric pits of the layer with ASNP equal to 9 nanometer. From this particular figure, you can see that there is some kind of penetrating zone or maybe some kind of ridges, also some kind of small block holes which actually has been occurred due to that pitting phenomena by the electrons or maybe by that particular ions. And the right hand side we have shown that if we increase that immersion time, then what will be the corrosion current density actually taking place, and not only that, we are changing the particular size also. So, first we are going for a smaller size, then slowly we are increasing the particle size also, like that black one is giving you the 832 nanometer, then the 499 nanometer, 168 nanometer, 72 nanometer, 9 nanometer. So, when we are seeing into the high immersion time, we can see that corrosion current for a smaller particle size is much lower than the bigger one, that is 832 nanometer particle size. Here is also an example, the nanocomposite coating by electrodeposition method. So, a tertiary alumina, yttrium oxide and carbon nanotube nanocomposite was made by using pulsed current electrodeposition method. Coating process has been performed on nickel sulfate bath, and nanostructure of obtained compound layer was examined with the high precision atomic force microscopy. So, in that particular case, here we have done transmission electron microscopy and the atomic force microscopy together. So, in the atomic force microscopy, it has been given what is the surface roughness of that particular coating materials, and the transmission electron microscopy has been given that the actual morphology of that particular nanoparticles onto the substrate itself. So, here in this particular case we have done the FESEM, we have done the TEM also, but here only we have shown the transmission electron microscopy image of that particular sample. It has been revealed that by changing the size of nanoparticles, corrosion properties of coating will change significantly in same train. AFM and TM analysis have confirmed smooth surface and average size of the nanoparticles itself. Then the Taguchi method for the designing of experiment has been used for optimization tertiary nanocomposite electrodeposited coating process parameters for the corrosion protection of treated samples, because we are having several average nanoparticle size. So, we are trying to use the Taguchi method by which we can optimize the particle size diameter or maybe all the input parameters, so that we can uniformly use all the particle size diameter, or maybe we can put all the input parameters over there. Average size of nanoparticles found to have an effective impact on corrosion rate. Figure here illustrates relation among average size of nanoparticles and the corrosion rate. So, in this particular figure we are seeing that there is some kind of scanning electron microscopy nanostructure of the coated samples. So, from that particular figure we can easily measure the particle size of that particular composites, and not only that, here in that particular graph we are showing into the x axis the average size of the nanoparticles, and the y axis it is showing the corrosion rate. So here we are trying to show you that how we are trying to increase the nanoparticle size and how the corrosion rate is increasing. That means if we are going to reduce the particle size of that particular nanocomposites or maybe the nanofillers, automatically the corrosion rate will be decreased. Next we are talking about the size effects on the dielectric properties. So when we are using this kind of materials for the semiconductor purpose or maybe the electronic purpose, these dielectric properties are the most vital parameters that we have to check whether our material can be electrical conductive or not. So a thin film was made by nanometer size barium titanate particle on glass substrates which have high dielectric coefficient and low energy dissipation factor due to nano size effects. The barium titanate particles with crystal size of 10.5 to 34.6 nanometer were synthesized. The barium titanate particles were dispersed homogeneously in the film. So from the TEM image we can see that barium titanate has been homogeneously dispersed among the matrix itself. Then when the good dispersion we have achieved in the film brought about a smooth surface of the film, the dielectric constant of the composite films increased with an increase in the barium titanate crystal size and with barium titanate volume fraction in the composite film. The dielectric constant reached from 31.8 for the barium titanate film with a barium titanate crystal size of 27.3 nanometer. So in this particular case we can see that when we are increasing the crystal size, the dissipation factor is not changing or maybe changing in a particular case in a very minimal value, but when we are talking about the dielectric current is rapidly changing with the increasing of the crystal size. When the crystal size was around 10, the dielectric constant was almost 20, but when it has reached up to 35, its values also goes up to the 30. So that means the particle size here, the increasing in particle size here clearly reflect that the dielectric constant of that particular material is changing. Then also we have done some kind of detailed investigation about the duty cycle. Duty cycle is a process parameter and electrochemical deposition process by which we can change that our material can store some kind of energy or not, or maybe how it can react that when I am applying certain kind of voltage or current to that particular material. So nanocomposite, here we have prepared that nickel with tungsten and CNT composite layer formations by electrodeposition techniques. So nickel tungsten CNT nanocomposite layers with high content and uniform dispersion of carbon nanotubes were fabricated using pulsed electrodeposition techniques. This is also a one kind of advanced deposition techniques. That deposition techniques already we have discussed in our previous lectures. The concentration of nanoparticulates and process effective parameters on the electrochemical properties of coated samples was studied. ACM, AFM and microhardness test was carried out for analyzing the nickel tungsten carbon nanotube nanocomposite layer. Microhardness increased for different nanocomposite layers with different amount of CNT. So here actually we are changing the loading of the CNT into this composite system. Microhardness of nanocomposite layers did not change significantly by changing the duty cycle. The effect of duty cycle on distribution of CNTs in nanocomposite layer shows strong attendance but does not change the tungsten content in the metallic matrix. Comparison of nanostructures of obtained nanocomposite layer shows the increasing duty cycle significantly alters the distribution and content percentage of CNTs in nanocomposite layers. So these all are the obtained results which we have received by doing this kind of testing or maybe by making this kind of materials. So here we are trying to show you some results. So it has been observed that carbon nanotube content will increase by increasing duty cycle and agglomeration of nanoparticles will decrease in higher duty cycle. So that is the added advantage for this particular case. Increasing duty cycle will lead to longer on times of applied pulse current in each cycle and lower applied potential for obtaining constant average current density, which means that lower power for embedment of nanoparticulates into nanocomposite layer. So, agglomeration is less than that in lower duty cycles that act in the opposite manner. So, actually what should be happen, but it is not happening, the vice versa case is happening over here. Then here we have given some figures like nanostructure of nickel tungsten CNT nanocomposite layers formed by different duty cycles of pulse current. A is the 20% and B is the 50% duty cycle, C is the 50%, that is the TEM image. So, this is the AFM image and this is the transmission electron microscopy image, and D is also the 80%, but this is also the atomic force microscopy image of those particular samples. So, here we are also showing the duty cycle percentage, how it is changing when we are applying that multiple carbon nanotubes into different percentage, when we are using the tungsten content into the different percentage, and where we are using the both. So, tungsten content in the metallic matrix did not change significantly by increasing duty cycle of pulsed current. Changing trend of the tungsten content is the same as CNT content. In this particular case, the interaction of nanoparticulates and pulsed current has an influence on the tungsten content in the metallic matrix. Effect of carbon nanotubes is much more than duty cycle, and decreasing carbon nanotube content will also lead to a decrease in the tungsten content of the metallic matrix. So, from this particular figure we can get that influence of duty cycle of pulsed current on carbon nanotube nanoparticulate contents in obtained nanocomposite layers and tungsten contents in the metallic matrix of the nanocomposite layers. So, that is a mixture, or maybe that is the hybrid composites kind of thing. Then we have measured the micro hardness also in terms of the duty cycle for these particular samples. So, micro hardness of nickel, tungsten and nanocomposite layers with respect to different concentrations of carbon nanotubes as well as different applied duty cycles has shown in this particular table. So, in this case the tungsten content in nanocomposite layer will not change by changing the duty cycle of pulsed current. So, here the thing is that when you are only using that nickel and tungsten current, the hardness value is coming around 522, but when we are introducing the carbon nanotube into the systems at the 20% duty cycle, the hardness value is going around 725, and if we increase the duty cycle up to 80%, the hardness value is going up to 779. So, that means increasing the micro hardness of the obtained different nanocomposites layer with the applied different duty cycles should be concerned by the presence of CNTs. So, in this particular case the carbon nanotube plays a vital role to these particular systems. Here also we are showing certain kind of Tafel plots of nickel tungsten and nickel tungsten CNT nanocomposites layers formed by different duty cycles of the pulsed current. So, here we can, when we are talking about the open triangles, so open triangles the 20% of duty cycle or 4.38% of carbon nanotubes content. So, here we have shown 4 different graphs or maybe that 4 different samples, but here it is not easily or maybe visibly shown. That is why you have written that cross means that it is the 50% of duty cycle or maybe the 9.1 weight percent of carbon nanotubes content. When you are talking about the open circle 80% of duty cycle, that means 13.1 weight percent of carbon nanotubes content, and open square is only the simple nickel and tungsten composites except the carbon nanotubes. Then we are coming to the summary of this particular lecture, that size of nanocrystalline particles and deposited layer thickness have significant influence on electrochemical properties. Corrosion and dielectric constant were found mostly dependent on grain size. Electrochemical properties were also having dependency on parameters like frequency, duty cycle and concentration of nanoparticulates. Electrochemical deposition method used for thin film deposition was found more effective than other coating methods. Actually, this lecture is only dealing with the particle size which is affecting the electrochemical depositions or maybe the electroplating techniques. Just here we have gathered some examples from some literature review, and also we have given some kind of results what we are doing in our lab that we have presented, but there are n number of applications, there are n number of materials which we are going to use and which can give the better electro deposition properties or maybe that better electroplating properties. Thank you.